Hello, friends and family from around the world. This is Mike with Daily Events Worldwide, and we are on February 2nd, 2025. Welcome to another surviving day on the planet. Groundhog Day already, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Do. Having a look here, always starting out looking at the space weather, as we've seen multiple M-class solar flares over the past 24 hours from incoming sunspot regions, and as well a very quickly forming sunspot region, which we're going to focus on in just a moment. Looking here at the last 48 hours, incoming bright, fiery sunspot grouping, Earth facing now. So heads up, stay frosty, my friends and family. Looking at outgoing here, plasma filaments dancing around, as well outgoing backside a CME from a filament eruption in the last few images. Looking at multi-spectrum, big coronal holes turning away that did increase our solar winds up to 705 kilometers per second. We have another one cresting into view right now. Little depiction of our magnetic field on the sun during a coronal hole event. Amazing images here brought to you by Solar Dynamics Observatory, mixed with daily events worldwide, and thank you so much for pressing play tonight. 171 angstroms, this is where you can see the magnetic fields of the sunspot regions in motion and interacting with each other as these sunspot groupings have produced 4 M-class solar flares just today. There's yesterday's M-class flare. It's been 3 days straight of some strong solar flares from this region turning into view. But watching the last few images, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M-class solar flares. Looking at the sunspot region in motion here. Watch at the bottom, quickly forming sunspot region within a 12-hour period, and instantly produced pretty strong solar flare. Sunspot 3981 is a beast. This whole collection of sunspot grouping are beasts. So now Earth facing, stay frosty, stay aware and prepared. Current space weather conditions, we are under R2, moderate radio blackout impacts expected, limited blackout of high frequency radio, as well geomagnetic storm impacts from the coronal hole wind stream. Solar winds now are coming in at 529 kilometers per second, super accelerated during a coronal hole Earth facing. Solar X-ray flux, as you can see there, 4 M-class solar flares, and still hovering in a high C range. Solar proton flux is low, geomagnetic activity coming down after being up KP4 for about a 36-hour period. Space Weather Prediction Center showing date and time, coronal hole wind stream impact, and as well our next CME impact, which is the 3rd into the 4th from a minor Earth-facing CME. ISWA Space Prediction Spiral showing the backside CME I was talking about, and that thing shot out right at Mercury, as that is coming into view for a backside retrograde, visualized here on LASCO 3, showing the last 2 days of cosmic energies leaving our star. Right there, there's that backside CME full halo. And there are the CMEs that we're expecting, 3rd into the 4th. Tonight's aurora forecast versus tomorrow's, a little bit more likely tomorrow night. Now let's have a look at earthquakes, as we've seen some pretty deep activity today. That's right, multiple deep earthquakes. Fiji region, the Fiji microplate, 628 kilometer depth. That's a very deep earthquake as well. 538 kilometer depth and a 393 active through the region. We have not seen a large shallow earthquake to follow, so still under earthquake watch and warning. But a lot of pressure is being released elsewhere right now. We'll get to that in just a moment. Increased seismicity, eastern Russia, northern Japan, and as well through the Aleutian Islands. Quiet across the North American plate, but a couple notable minor earthquakes, New York. Central America, way too quiet. South American plate, way too quiet, only reporting a 5.1. 4.6 there, awash, Ethiopia. And then look at Greece. Multiple earthquakes, actually hundreds of earthquakes just northeast of the Santorini volcano, which has most recently been raised to an unrest alert level. The Santorini volcano in Greece on the 30th of January was updated as an earthquake swarm northeast of the island persisted and is continuing. Hundreds of earthquakes here, at most likely the last time that this volcanic plume erupted. Big volcanic island in the middle of those big islands, just northeast of Santorini, which is a monstrous island volcano that has been dormant for hundreds of years. Notable earthquakes in northern Italy as well, minor but building up. So through that region, a lot of the energy is being released. But still, we haven't seen a large earthquake in quite some time. Looking at the last 7 days for earthquakes, the largest being a 5.8 magnitude earthquake. And that was through India. But notable earthquakes, notable volcanoes, our world is changing. And thank you so much for pressing play and being a part of this journey. Daily events worldwide, keeping humanity aware and prepared. You live in an earthquake-prone zone, please be ready. Have a plan. Now let's have a look at our air quality forecast. Active and erupting volcanoes, notable plumes coming out of Mexico, Kilauea, and as well eastern Russia, but clearing out. Overlooking Australia, Africa, Southeast Asia. Big plumes coming out of Congo region, as well eastern Indonesia, India. Other than that, no new plumes to report here. Sulfur dioxide emissions are prevalent, especially in the northern hemisphere right now. 72 active and erupting volcanoes. Stay tuned. Volcanic activity report is coming soon. Now let's have a look at world weather, starting out here, looking at South America and Africa. Lingering low in between Madagascar and the South African continent will persist and bring some heavy rains. Overlooking Europe and the North Atlantic. High pressure ridge building in for the next few days before a northern low brings in some pretty cold air. But high pressure ridge dominating across most of Europe right now till finally a low moves into the Mediterranean. And then it'll start to bring some snow to higher elevations. Overlooking North America, multiple low pressure systems here moving in and grinding down the west coast, bringing heavy amounts of snowfall to BC. Watch for these systems to race east-northeast. Most of them are riding through Ontario. California, going to see some relief. But Canada, you've still got a long, cold winter left ahead of you, even knowing our groundhog says 6 weeks. Early spring, I don't think so. Overlooking Australia, Southeast Asia, still multiple strong systems across the northern parts of Australia. And as well, a strong system developing in the long-range North Pacific and cyclone in the South Indian Ocean. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. Stay aware and prepared, stay young and have fun, and get your daily due. Bye-bye now.